City living is no longer a luxury, it is now a necessity and a way of life. Invariably, city life has had its challenges. At the closing plenary of the World City Summit, one panelist asked,
So I asked him, I said, well, why aren't they having children? He said, people are so stressed, they're so busy, they're so competitive. All the things that made Singapore a great city now is producing a very strange effect in which people are not having children. But something in the way we're building our cities and our society, but cities in particular, is making it toxic for the formation of families and raising children. Down the road, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, when our cities are overwhelmingly made up of people who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s.
There was a survey recently which rated Singapore to be the hardest working people in the world. I used to think it was China, but China ranked about 8 or 9. Singapore is number 1.
So how can we make family-friendly cities?
One of the trends that we're finally starting to see in the U.S., I don't know if it's happening elsewhere, is back to multi-generational families.
The genesis of a community is more than 8 families. People will stop wanting to know the neighbors. So we say, okay, then we have this slab block used to have very long corridors. We said, what about cutting the corridors into segments of 6 to 8 families? 6 months later, I went to visit the family. Only 6 months. I went to the first family, Chinese. All the other kids from Malay, Indian, follow into the living room.
Minister for National Development, Mr. Mabao Tan, added it was possible to have livable and sustainable cities.
I suggest that we establish a learning network for cities after WCS 2010, after this one. Singapore is also happy to serve as a living laboratory for companies to test-bed innovative solutions for a highly dense and a highly compact urban environment.
Small or large, dense or sparse, cities can be made fun and livable. So what are the things that make Singapore a livable city? Find out in our next clip.